Hi, welcome to Sports Med Doctor. I'm your host, Dr. Siddharth Onithan. For those who are new here, we are a channel for sports medicine, sports science, and exercise. Basically, anything to do with sports and exercise. So today we'll be talking about the top 5 common injuries in football. Before we start, I would like to explain how we have divided the segment. So just like our previous videos, we have what is the most common injury, why does it occur, how do we diagnose it, what is the management, and a pro tip from Sports Med Doctor to you to help you get the edge over this injury. So let's go with number 5, groin strains. Did you know that groin injuries are one of the most time-consuming injuries in football? Why do they occur? So most common cause is due to muscular imbalance and overuse. Diagnosis, examination, ultrasound and MRI does help in diagnosing, confirming the diagnosis. But whatever said and done, a groin injury is one of the most difficult to diagnose. How do we manage it? Usual by groin strengthening exercises, by rehab exercises. In certain cases, surgery may be also involved, but in most of the cases, usually with rehab exercises is more than enough. As usual, a pro tip from us to you, strengthening the adductor and the core and an active warm-up does reduce the incidence of this injury. So during your warm-up, please try to do more of adductor exercises and as well as a bit of core exercises, and this helps in warming up those areas and reduces the incidence of injuries. Number 4, concussion. Did you know that UEFA had unveiled new guidelines to reduce the heading injuries, while Football Association has banned heading for under 11 children? Now, why does concussion occur? Most commonly is due to trauma. Football is a contact sport, so definitely concussion is very common. Diagnosis, usually diagnosis is done by concussion assessment tools, which we do it on field as well as outfield also. We have tools which will confirm a concussion. An MRI definitely helps in ruling out other injuries as well as a CAT scan. Management, usually it is by rest and recovery. A pro tip from us to you is definitely neck strengthening exercises reduces the incidence of injury. Headgear equipment like what Peter Cech wore during the Premier League, which he wears, does not reduce incidence of concussion, and if concussion is suspected, get professional help because they are the best people to handle it. Number 3, hamstring strain. Did you know that Fernando Torres, the ex-Liverpool, the ex-Atletico Madrid player, had not 1 but 3 hamstring injuries in the space of 1 season, and because of that he could not perform at all. Why does hamstring strain occur? Because of the sudden eccentric loading of the muscle. Eccentric means lengthening of the muscle, and when it occurs suddenly, that can cause injury, and this is caused due to basically muscular imbalances. Diagnosis usually by examination, ultrasound and MRI are the confirmatory diagnosis basically. Management, usually rehab exercises. Surgery is rarely done, but most commonly it is it's managed by rehab exercises. A pro tip from us to you, Nordic curls. This is an eccentric training method which reduces the incidence of injury, of hamstring injury. So for those of you who get quite commonly hamstring pulls and hamstring strains, I would recommend Nordic exercises. Once you have healed completely, please try to do that, and that will prevent injuries. Number 2, ankle sprain. Did you know that Marco van Basten, Netherlands and Ajax legend, he retired at the age of 31 due to persistent ankle injuries? Why does ankle sprain occur? Most commonly it is due to trauma, due to contact or non-contact, overuse. Injuries are also common. How it's diagnosed? Usually by examination. Ultrasound and MRI definitely confirms the injury. Management is usually by rehabilitation and proprioceptive exercises. You can get back to football. A pro tip from us to you: add proprioception exercises in your warm-up, which improves balance, and this reduces the risk of injury. Number 1, ACL tears. Did you know that Van Nistelrooy, the Manchester United legend, tore his ACL before he was transferred to Manchester United? Still, Alex Ferguson, the legendary manager, believed in him, and he reciprocated by becoming a United legend. Now, why does ACL tear occurs? Most commonly, it is due to trauma. A contact injury or a non-contact injury can cause ACL tears. Diagnosis is by examination, and an MRI confirms the diagnosis. Management, usually ACL tear, surgical management, ACL reconstruction or a repair is done, which will get you back to your normal activity, and then rehab has to be done once your surgery is done. Usually it takes around 6 to 9 months to get back to normal once the surgery is done. A pro tip from us to you: good warm-up with a lot of cutting and balance-based movement reduces the incidence of an ACL tear. We would advise you to check out FIFA Plus 11 warm-up program, which has great warm-up exercises. So there are a set of exercises which is given by FIFA, and these are called as FIFA Plus 11. So these exercises, if you can do it as your warm-up exercises, will prevent multiple injuries. So these are the 5 most common injuries in football. There are definitely other injuries, common injuries in football, but we thought that these are the most common injuries. If you feel that there are other injuries which needs to be explained, please do comment below. We will try to do more videos on that. Hope you enjoy the video. Please do like, subscribe, and share these videos. Thank you again for watching and listening.